I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Did you get your signs?
Yes.
All righty.
Thank you.
Any additions or deletions to the agenda?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All righty. First up, for Veterans Day, we have Mr. Brian Westfall.
Thank you, Commissioners. Mr. President, it is my distinct privilege to read the names of these Allegheny County employees who have identified themselves as veterans of service in the United States Armed Forces, who have served the nation with honor and at great personal sacrifice. If you are in the audience tonight, please stand when your name is called. Richard E. Beckwith III, Public Works, Engineering, Air Force, 6 years. Robert D. Beeman, Sheriff Corrections, United States Marine Corps, 4 years. Roger L. Bennett, Emergency Services, U.S. Navy, 24 years. Christopher M. Biggs, Emergency Medical Services, U.S. Navy, 7 years. Richard J. Blahut, Public Works, Roads, U.S. Air Force, 24 years. Andre N. Campbell, Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Army, 8 years. Randy D. Cutter, Sheriff Patrol, United States Marine Corps, 3 years. J. Robert Dick, Jr., Public Safety, United States Marine Corps, 4 years. Harold W. Dixon III, Sheriff Patrol, U.S. Army and National Guard, total of 21 years. Brian S. Dolchek, Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Army, 3 years. Stephanie L. Frost, Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Army, 2 years. Gerald M. Joy, Gaming, U.S. Air Force, 6 years. Jeffrey G. Kurgan, Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Army, 15 years. Susan M. Lee, Emergency Services, U.S. Navy, 4 years. Michael L. Powell, Emergency Communications, U.S. Navy, 6 years. Robert J. Pritchard Sr., Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Navy, 20 years. Keith A. Raines, Public Works, Roads, U.S. Army, 3 years. Wade E. Sibley, Sheriff Patrol, United States Marine Corps, 5 years. Daniel Seamer, Emergency Management, Emergency Medical Services, U.S. Navy, and the U.S. Marine Corps, for a total of 6 years. Melody Seamer, United States Marine Corps, 4 years. D. Craig Simpson, Sheriff Patrol, U.S. Air Force, 4.5 years. Vernon A. Swanger, Allegheny County Transit, U.S. Army, 9 years, U.S. Air Force, 13 and a half years. William R. Valentine, County Commissioner, United States Army, 6 years. Frederick H. Voss, State's Attorney, U.S. Navy, 5 years. And Reinhold Wohlman, Sheriff Corrections, U.S. Army, 17 years. I now invite all veterans who are in the audience tonight to stand and be recognized, employee or non-employee. Commissioners, the observance of Veterans Day is an expression of faith in democracy, faith in American values, and faith that those who fight for freedom will defeat those whose cause is unjust. I ask that the names of these veterans be spread across the minutes of this meeting to honor and express our sincere gratitude to all veterans for their unwavering commitment to country, justice, and democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. We do have a proclamation. Jerry, Susan, come on up.
Bill, you're getting it up here. Over in the middle. Fine. Brian.
Thank you, David.
This
This is a citation from Alleghany County government and reads that we wish to publicly recognize the contributions of all veterans, men and women in all services to Alleghany County, the state of Maryland, the United States of America, and to the peoples around the world. Alleghany County government's privileged to have employees and retirees who served in the military. We support all veterans in word and deed. The Board of County Commissioners, in remembrance of Veterans Day 2017, highly commend all veterans in our community. That's signed this 9th day of November 2017, Bill Valentine, Creed Brody, Jake Shade. Thank you.
Sir, speech here. Since you're doing it. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Item number 2, Sierra Wigfield is introducing Mr. Roy Cool.
Yeah.
He's going into the Hall of Fame.
Go for it, kid. Go.
Let's see here. Thanks. All right. Good evening. So Roy Cool was honored at the Transportation Association of Maryland conference. He was the first inductee to their Hall of Fame during the conference in late September. Roy, he was a founding member of the Transportation Association of Maryland and has been an employee for Alleghany County for 41 years. It'll be 42 in February, so I think that's really impressive. Roy has been my mentor for the last 12 years in the county, and I've always looked at him as an example as keeping a level head during stressful times and in stressful situations, and I've always valued his institutional knowledge and history while I was working on projects. I've never heard the same story twice from that guy. And Roy, thank you very much for your guidance through the years. So today, I think you guys have a proclamation to recognize Roy for his dedication to his work and for his dedication with his with the Transportation Association of Maryland. So,
We do.
all right.
Roy, come on.
Come up here. Thank you again. Jerry's going on here. We'll give you this first.
Congratulations. This is a citation that reads, Alleghany County government wishes to publicly recognize Roy S. Cool, who has capably and diligently served the citizens and stakeholders of Alleghany County with public transport for 41 years. The Transportation Association of Maryland is a statewide organization dedicated to improving mobility for all citizens, public transportation to promote business, tourism, and economic development. Roy was a founding member of TAM in 1985 and is now the first individual to be inducted into its Hall of Fame. We, the Board of County Commissioners, wish to extend our sincerest congratulations to Roy Cool for his induction into the Hall of Fame, as well as extend our deepest appreciation for his significant public transportation contributions and contributions to Alleghany County government. And that's signed this 9th day of November 2017, Creed Brody, Bill Valentine, Jake Shade. Congratulations.
Oops, hold on there. David's
Like
going
an
to get
official
some
one.
picture again.
Thing opened up. Say 41 more.
Thank you. 41 more. You got your work cut out, buddy.
This is Bill Red's replacement
Wow.
Hi-yo.
He should talk.
Something in the water down there. All right. Item number 3, we have Mr. John Rushline with the Alleghany County Education Association President. Welcome. Did you?
Sir?
We can do the proclamation first or speak first?
Oh, I have very little to say.
All
Come
right.
on, John, you got something to say.
I'll stick to just a simple thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, great.
Okay, sir. Well, come on up here.
How are you doing? I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, sir. Good.
I want it to be known, this is one time the American Education Association is showing up without asking for money.
Hey,
Just
there-
want you to remember that. Record that.
That's right.
It's already late, I have.
That's right. He's got his credit card. It's all taken. All right. This is a proclamation from our government that reads, "A basic right and our responsibility is to public schools. They are the backbone of our democracy, providing young people the tools they need to maintain our nation's precious values of freedom, civility, and equality. The Board of Commissioners wish to publicly recognize and extend our deepest appreciation to all individuals associated with education. Teaching is an admirable and inspiring profession, and teachers are excellent role models. They work constantly to provide opportunity for their students to grow in their personal and professional lives. We'd like to highlight and commend all the work of educators and proclaim November 13th through 17th, 2017 to be American Education Week in Allegheny County." That's signed all 3 county commissioners. Thanks for coming, John.
And remember this evening.
Let's get one. We'll get one.
Was my hair all right? That's-
No. Look perfect.
All right, moving to our action agenda, we have a introduction of Code Home Rule Bill 5-17. This is to establish and approve the Allegheny County zoning district map. Angie Patterson.
Good evening, Commissioners. So tonight we're going to introduce the comprehensive update to the county zoning district map. This has been a 2-year process. As you know, the county staff have been working on updating our zoning provisions. We adopted a new zoning code last March, and so now this will be step 2 to update the map. In early September, we started the Planning and Zoning Commission's public process. We've had maps and different resources posted on our county homepage since early September for people to review the changes. We've had an interactive web map posted for just to be used as a tool for the citizens. We did a press release. We also did a mailing to all affected property owners in early September. I've personally spoken to about 1/3 of those affected property owners. We've made a few changes based on comments we've received. But for the most part, once I answered their questions, they were happy when we got off the phone. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on September 27th, and they made their recommendation on October 25th. There are 25 proposed rezonings throughout the county. Everything was back up on the website today. We kind of polished up the maps, and I think we will be holding a public hearing on November 30th, and we'll go into more detail then about what the new map looks like.
Great. Any discussion?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Angie. All right, item number 5, we have superstructure replacement bridge A-059 Cobblestone Road in Mount Savage. Mr. Patterson.
Gentlemen, unfortunately, we had to close Cobblestone Bridge just last week because of its deteriorated condition. Public Works has talked to Charlie and staff, and we feel that we'd like to go forward with replacement of the superstructure of this bridge. We've met, and we feel that we can do it very cost effectively, and we could perhaps even get started, depending upon winter weather, perhaps even this winter. So tonight I have before you a request to be able to proceed with this project.
Fantastic. I'll make a motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Adam.
And Danny, if you would, please let the town know that what took place tonight, so.
All
Yes, sir.
right. Moving to our consent agenda. Mr. Everly.
Commissioners, tonight we have 3 items on your consent agenda for possible action. Item number 6 is a motion to authorize our DPW staff to facilitate material pricing and solicitation for 4 bridge projects scheduled for either repair or replacement throughout the county. Item number 7 is a motion to declare surplus to the county's needs 3 vehicles within the county's general motor pool and authorize their disposal by either auction, trade, or transfer. Item 8 is a motion to approve Resolution 17-30 to amend Section 1412 of the county's rules and regs to incorporate the updated version of the county's technology usage policy.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
So move. Second.
All in favor? All right, moving on. Mr. Rudd.
I have nothing. Huh? Nothing.
Mr. Everly.
Just two things real quick, Commissioners. We have confirmed today that November the 30th at 3 o'clock right here in this room will be our annual meeting with the delegation to Annapolis to lay out before them our legislative requests. So we were not able to get that confirmation until late today, so it's not on the agenda, but please make note of that, 3 o'clock on November the 30th. Commissioners, one other item. For the past 18 years, it has been an honor for me to serve the citizens of Alegany County. I've had the good fortune to work on behalf of 5 boards of commissioners over the years and had wonderful world experiences with each and every one, and most of those experiences have been, without question, positive. For those who know me well, know that I'm not only a student of government, but a student of history, and as such, I draw to the words written by a very wise king about 2,900 years ago, who said that there is a time for every season under heaven. Last week, I was able to meet privately with all 3 commissioners and the county's department heads to inform them that I will be leaving county service at the end of April 2018. For the record, my separation from county government will be a practice retirement. At 57, I plan on being in the workforce for a long, long time, but unfortunately, next year I need to be out of the workforce for about 90 days through the spring and the summer months. A portion of that time will be spent taking some vacation with family and downsizing. My wife and I live on a small farm outside of Frostburg, and that's not going to be an easy activity for us. So for the time being, the commissioners are aware that they are in good hands. They are aware that we are served by a group of department heads that I feel are second to none. With their support, we have sustained a workforce of employees here in the county that are also second to none and make us proud each and every day. A dear friend and mentor of mine once told me that wherever you go in life and whatever you do, give it all you got and finish strong. And that's what I intend to do between now and the end of April. All the best to each of you. I salute your willingness to serve the citizens of Alegany County, and I cherish your friendship. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you very, very much. Commissioner?
Sir?
Bill?
Dave, thank you for your service.
That's all I've got, Commissioners, tonight.
All right, Commissioner Valentine.
First of all, I'd like to say, Dave, it's been a real honor and a pleasure knowing you and serving with you.
Thank you.
You've done a great service for this county over those years. Secondly, as many of you know, the sheriff has started a new round of opioid town hall meetings. I was fortunate enough to be at the one last night. Of course, it's Little Orleans next door. So he's really put together something very, very special this year. Anybody has a chance to attend one of these town halls definitely should attend. I don't care if you've been at 2 or 3 others, how many others you've been at. The new program's totally different. He's taken the effort to put together a trailer that simulates a home, and it shows how easy it is for people to hide their drugs, how easy it is for them to hide the different mechanisms they need to use the drugs. He's got a young lady that has beaten a habit, and her story is quite a strong story. I commend her for having the courage to speak about what all she went through, but she's now got a bright future ahead of her because she did, get help, and she kicked a habit. So the sheriff's next town hall is at LaVale Fire Department, November 15th. And once again, anybody that's got a chance to go to this, This opioid problem is huge nationwide, and it's affecting every aspect of society. So this is something we all have to work together to defeat. And again, I have to commend the sheriff for a really fantastic job he's done. Thanks a lot, Craig.
Thank you. Commissioner Brody.
Just a couple of things. First of all, welcome Delegate McKay. It's good to see you here in the audience this evening. Thank you. Another thing is thanks, Adam, for jumping on Cobblestone Bridge so quick. A lot of folks, I met with Adam one day this week at a different bridge. They don't realize the amount of bridges that's in Alegany County. The amount of maintenance bridges take is phenomenal. And thank you, Adam, for what you do. Thirdly, I've been thinking about this all week, and I don't even know where to start. But Dave, the first time I met Dave, he was at the city of Frostburg, and I made such a good impression, I'm pretty sure he didn't remember who I was. So it was almost 8 years ago this month that we was coming out of Westmore Middle School. And he was with Paul Cale, which I have known for a long time, and Paul stopped and introduced Dave to myself, and we sit there and had a very nice conversation. So Dave also is just a student of history, not nearly as accomplished as you are. You've taught me a lot along the way. And I'm proud to call you a friend. So, thank you.
We don't have anyone signed up. First, I think that CSX needs addressed. This board, I don't think there's any difference with the delegation's position, the City of Cumberland's position. This is really an issue that's united all of our local bodies, and we're all saying CSX needs to step up to the plate. It's unacceptable that bridges are being closed and thousands of people impacted, not just inconvenience, but there's a safety issue there too. So that's something we're going to continue working. I don't think there's any objection, but I know our engineering department should be working closely with Cumberland, reaching out and seeing what we can do to help find a solution on that. You know, this is something that's lingered a long time, and now all of a sudden we're at a point where there's no good options in the short term. So that's on that note. Dave, I would just like to praise you for being a true professional in every sense of the word. I've got to work with you for the past 3 years, and it's never been a burden. It's always been good. So thank you for that. And anything we can do as you move on to your next phase, please let us know.
Thank you, Jacob.
And I would like to add this. I wish Mr. Rushline would have stayed, because today we had some young people here in a new Leadership Allegheny for high school students run by the Chamber, and Delegate McKay, Commissioner Valentine took time out to have lunch with them. And then this morning, there was actually a hands-on exercise that all of our department heads, for the most part, Jason Bennett, Paul Cale, Dick DeVore, the sheriff was here, Dr. Cox was here, and they really learned about how the county budgets and sets priorities, and there's usually not enough money to go around. So that was an interesting experience. And then after all of that, the students that were the commissioners, they got thrown out of office because the other groups didn't like what they had to do. So I don't know what that means, but that was really good. And it is amazing. I'm sure Commissioner Valentine would say the same thing, and everyone involved. The future is bright for whatever you say. You know, these kids are juniors in high school. They love the community. They're active in the community. They're well spoken. They're well informed on current issues. They're interested in being involved in civic life and having a good job and committed to all that stuff. So it is nice. And when people publish the negative, it's nice to see the positive for once. And Brett, a very good job organizing everything. We had Chick-fil-A. The kids love that too. So you can't go wrong. With that, we don't have anyone signed up, do we, Linda? No one signed up to speak tonight? Okay. Mr. Wilmot, come on down.
I just got to make a comment, please. I want to be at 6 o'clock at the city meeting, so I didn't sign up. Anyway, I'm Kenneth Wilmot. I live at 513 Ford Avenue. I spoke Tuesday evening in the city on our bridges. Over a year ago, I made a suggestion that the city pay half and the railroad pay half, which I think is a good solution. And on top of it, to put in a drawbridge, opens up on each side. Train comes through, he can go through. But if something don't happen, it's going to be a domino effect all the way down the line. City, county, state, because like the people said over there, if they close them bridges off, all the property's going to be reassessed. Nobody's going to, But anyway, the railroads ain't got a leg to stand on. We give them, they take, I don't know how many millions of dollars that our government gives them railroads to subsidize them so they can have a job and pay their bills. Now, if they can't come up here and talk sensibly at the table other than say, no, we ain't paying, then they shouldn't get no money. And if I had anything to do with the government, they wouldn't get no money until they start doing their share. I mean, it's a domino game. You can't do something here because it's going to reflect down here. It's a backlash. And personally, I don't think the city has the expertise to deal with the problem. All they can see is, ain't our fault, but you can't negotiate like that. You need to have somebody up there that knows what they're talking about. And like I said, I don't think they should be allowed to just walk out. Because if they do, I'd say, okay, you don't get no money. And I'd get their attention. Anyway, thank you. I appreciate it.
Is there a city meeting tonight?
Yeah, it's on the Maryland Conservancy on the Lake Gordon and
Gotcha.
Lake Coon.
All righty. Sounds good, Mr. Wilmot. All right. Our next public business meeting will be Thursday, November 30th, 7 p.m. The Local Development Council for Rocky Gap will be meeting on November 15th at 6 p.m. And we'll be meeting with the delegation November 30th in this room at 3 p.m. Busy schedule. Everyone have a happy Thanksgiving.
One member's not available.
Absolutely.